Ricardo be doing too much. Like he really do, and I don't understand why he's like this. And it's funny, like even my mom had said, like when she was telling me like, yo, the family's saying that, you know, we need to take him back. She was like, I mean, his mother's dead now. She can help him. I was just like, why would you say that? I mean, it was hilarious the way she said it though. But like, no, at this point, she was the only one that really tolerated his nonsense and always saw the good in him and whatever. But obviously that's his mother. He's going to always have her support and whatever bullshit that she does. But unfortunately, since my uncle passed away, like, and we all knew he was going to pass away, I feel like it was kind of just like a ticking time bomb. We were kind of lost that my aunt passed away before him. There's a couple people that passed away before him, and we were like, how the fuck? Like, he's just been, you know, he's been kicking. And even after my aunt passed away, he even made jokes calling people in the family like, hey, like, you know, I'm not dying anymore, I feel great, you know, make sure y'all send me the funeral money, y'all don't gotta save it no more. Like, it was that serious. But out of nowhere, he ended up passing away sometime towards the end of March, and this was extremely inconvenient. As many of you guys on my Patreon, on my Discord know, like, that whole situation was a whole hot ass mess, but the situation before the whole funeral part was even more ridiculous. So my uncle, what we gonna call him? We're just gonna call him Uncle Charlie. Uncle Charlie had a lot of kids, like so many kids that we haven't even met, but he doesn't talk to any of his kids. He has not been active in all of his kids' lives. And the kids who he does associate with, I guess, can't do shit for him. So he has a kid, okay, one of my cousins, we're gonna call her Catherine. I've never met her, but I always hear about her. Like, I know about her in passing, but I've never seen her. And I finally met her sometime last month, right after her dad died. Like, I'm talking about, like, her dad died yesterday. She ended up coming to my mom's house literally like the next day. She was not grieving. She was not sad. She did not care. She did not talk about it. It was very strange to me. But also, when you have a parent that has not been in your life, I mean, that's just what's going to happen. Obviously, y'all already know, right? I'll cut you off. I really don't give a fuck. Like, I'm going to keep that same energy in life and in death. However, I feel like if I were to cut off my parents, I would still pay for their funeral. Okay? I feel like I would still, like, I'd still put some sort of money in. Like, I'm not going to expect other people to bury my parent. Apparently, Catherine don't give a fuck. She didn't put no money in. She did just have a baby, by the way, and I do know that she is moving, so that's probably why. But even at that, like, I feel like your parent is your parent. But I don't understand people have horrible relationships with their parents, okay? So it was just weird to me. So I met her for the first time. She decided to come down because she took some vacation time off and she really wanted to see my mom. So from what I understand, I think my mom was working most of the time. And plus the house was still a mess. They just moved. Things aren't unpacked. So my mom was like, oh, see if you could stay at Ricardo's house. And then, you know, then you could come to my house when I'm off, because my mom has weird off days. She's off like Mondays and Tuesdays, and she was coming down like on a Thursday. She was like, okay, see if you could stay there like Thursday, Friday, and then you could come over those other days. So she goes down to Ricardo's house, right? Never been to Ricardo's house. I know where he lives. I picked him up before. I've dropped off mail to him, but I don't know physically, like I've never been inside of the house. So from what I understand, he rents a room from someone. Yeah, so Catherine ends up staying at Ricardo's house. She brings her baby, okay? So that is the cutest and calmest and most chillest baby I've ever been with. Like, chef's kiss. Love that baby. I definitely keep her. She's great. I hope my kid ends up being like that. Like, she doesn't cry. She doesn't do anything. Like, she's very, very chill. Lets Ricardo borrow the car, right? You would think he comes back quickly. No. Okay, he said he only had to run a quick errand. He said he's only going to Elizabeth. That's literally like a 15-20 minute ride. Sometimes less, depending on what way you take. Later doesn't come back. Mind you, there is no food in his room. I think it's a room house situation where he probably can't cook. I don't know if he can use the kitchen or whatever, but nonetheless, she's in the house with the baby. Ricardo has the car. Catherine being stupid. And that's when I realized, like, I think it's just my mom's family that are just, I don't get it. She leaves the baby's food in the car. This is like an 8-month-old baby. She doesn't eat too much solids yet. She's kind of just getting introduced into solids, but she has formula. I believe she can't breastfeed. It's the whole thing. She leaves all the formula in the car. I think she made her like little stuff, like little things. Left all that shit in the car. 6 hours later, he's not back yet. 8 hours back, he's not back yet. Mind you, she had came in the morning. So at this point, it's probably like pushing like 3-4 o'clock. She keeps calling. He doesn't pick up. Eventually, he comes back and he brings her, if there's sticky shit on my mouth, my bad, y'all. Anyways, he comes back and he brings her some maï moulin or whatever, which is like cornmeal. I didn't even know that they sell maï moulin at Haitian restaurants. So whatever, she's sitting there. And, you know, she's eating the maï moulin, but obviously, like, you're supposed to eat at least 3 times a day. So this shit not holding her over. A couple hours later, you know, she keeps calling him. He's not picking up the phone. When he does pick up, I'm on my way. This nigga doesn't show back up till like 1 o'clock in the morning. At this point, the child is starving. She is crying. She is screaming. She is sad. Like, she is like really, really depressed. From what I understood, From what they told me, right, because I spoke to Catherine later, she said she fed the baby oatmeal because she had no choice. I don't know if that's a thing that you could feed babies, because oats is kind of hard to digest. Granola, oats and stuff like that. Like it's good for you in certain ways, but for some people fuck up their GI tract. And then for babies, I feel like I don't think they're developed enough to be having oatmeal. Comment down below. But nonetheless, it doesn't matter. The kid ended up having horrible gas. Okay? Horrible gas from not eating, and then the only meal that she had was oatmeal. So now by this point, it's like super late. They go to my mom's house. The kid is screaming their fucking head off. Okay, the kid is just inconsolable. The kid is just like, I don't know how to do this anymore. Like, I am suffering. Like, I felt so bad when they were telling me this shit. Like, my dad said that baby was crying so much that he was like scared for them, and he was scared that somebody was gonna call the police. Okay, he was like, shit, I was minding my own business, but I ain't gonna lie, like I was scared for them, because like this was like, she was really, really crying badly. So you would think that, you know, he would have cared. That nigga did not give a fuck, because what happened the next day, he did the same thing. Takes the car, goes wherever. I don't understand who the fuck does that, especially because he's really close with Catherine. I'm always hearing about Catherine. Him and Catherine went to the bar. Catherine did this for him. Him and Catherine gonna do this. And it's funny because the whole reason that the mime didn't press charges on Ricardo when that whole situation happened, and like he beat her and her sister or whatever, was because of Catherine. Catherine sat there like, oh, he's a good person. He means well. I know he did this to you. She's one of those. She's very Sicilian. Okay, I feel like my family's just like that on my mom's side. They're all just give him a second chance. They're not bad people type of people. Like, no, bitch. Like, no, you should have let her call the cops and get his ass deported, because Ricardo does too fucking much. So whatever. From what I hear, her dumbass lets Ricardo take the car again. Of course, he disappears again. She's calling him up. She's cussing him out. When I'm telling you Catherine was cussing him out, I thought she would never talk to him again. She sits there and she lets him take the car again. Takes the car again, drives wherever the fuck he drives. Doesn't come back till like literally way later. I'm talking about like, at this point, this is when I finally came. And he came, like, I think they had just left. He came back and they went to the supermarket. My mom gave him like $30-40 to go get stuff to make griot and fritai, which is like fried pork, fried chicken, fried plantain, stuff like that. So they went. Child, every 2 seconds I'm calling Ricardo. Ricardo not picking up the phone. Y'all are both fucking annoying. Whatever. They end up coming back to the house. The kid is, again, hungry or whatever. But obviously, they were in the car. So, you know, she got all the food. She feeds the baby or whatever the case may be. They're making food. They're making ippies. They're making all this extra stuff. I didn't wait for the food because I don't eat fried food like that. I don't really even eat Haitian food unless it's the weekend. Like, swear to God. Like, the only Haitian food you'll catch me maybe eating during the week is pate. And that's not often. So, I was like, yeah, all right. Just happy to see y'all. I really wanted to meet Catherine. So I end up leaving. Now, mind you, as I'm leaving out with Ricardo. Ricardo was like, oh, you know, I should go pick up your mom. Like, where does she usually get off in Newark? And I'm like, she usually gets off at this bus stop. Oh, I'll go get her. So at this point, I'm just like, nobody wanted you to. It wasn't something that was in the air. You offered, hey, where does your mom get off at? What time does she get off? Where is she? He's the one that offered. So I'm just like, oh yeah, this is where she gets off at, you know, whatever. So I'll call her and I'll let you know when she gets at that stop. This nigga goes to Elizabeth, starts gambling, doing all this extra shit. And meanwhile, my mom is at the bus stop. Now she's blowing up my phone. Oh, where's Ricardo that you said was going to go pick me up? I said, nigga, that nigga said that he was going to pick you up on his own. I ain't had nothing to do with that. So don't put me in this. Now she's upset. She's crying. I think it started raining. It's this whole thing. My mom's going off. Mind you, my mom is dramatic and extra in the general sense. But now she has every right to be dramatic and extra because now she's waiting for Ricardo. Like, from what I understand, there was like a bus or two that passed her and she didn't take it because we said Ricardo was going to pick her up. I'm calling Ricardo. Ricardo's not picking up the phone. She's calling Ricardo. Ricardo's not picking up the phone. My dad's calling Ricardo. Ricardo's not picking up the phone. At this point, I'm starting getting upset because it's like, I don't feel like hearing her mouth. And then you, the one that said that you was going to pick her up, and now you're late. Like, and you shouldn't be. Elizabeth and Newark are like this. We share a fucking airport. That's how close Newark and Elizabeth are. Like, it's right there. So it's just like, you're bugged the fuck out. Even if you went to go gamble or whatever, you're only in Elizabeth. Finally, he answers the phone. Oh, there's so much traffic. I see the shit in ways. Ain't no fucking traffic. Ain't no regular traffic. This is, don't fucking play with me. Like, stop, like, bruh. So he finally ends up getting my mom, and my mom ends up going home, and she shuts the fuck up, thank God. But it was just like, I don't understand. Like, and it's funny because I also, like, I contemplated, right? So I just moved my parents, but it's kind of like an emergency move. Like, where they're at isn't conducive to a good, how do I explain it? It's not conducive for me because they're not near anything. There's no supermarkets or corner stores or anything. So I have to do everything more than I used to before, even when they were near everything, right? So since that's happening right now, I've been looking for, like, I'm actively looking for another place, a better place, something closer to civilization and shit. And since I've been looking for a closer place, you know, I was contemplating. I was like, you know, maybe we could incorporate Ricardo back. You know, my dad will have someone. Maybe he'll get a car again and it'll help. But I'm like, no, because he wasn't even helping when he was living with them. And that whole situation just made me realize, like, that nigga will never change. Like, he's always going to be the same person. And it's sad because he doesn't have to be that way. And what really pisses me off is he doesn't see anything wrong with what he does. He won't apologize. He won't explain himself. He always has a different story as to why something happened and why it's not his fault. Okay, when the whole situation happened with the baby, he's like, oh, well, you know, like, I was coming, but I got held up doing this, that, and the third. It's like, are you fucking serious? The baby almost starved to death because you wanted to sit there and gamble. Be fucking for real. That's absolutely disgusting, and it's genuinely irresponsible, and it's ridiculous. Like, you're so serious right now. Like, you're dead ass. Like, come on. You know, so it's just like, I don't know. Maybe one day my mom will concede to it. I doubt it. I know I'm on a hell no. My dad barely even talks to him anymore. You know, that was his little homie, his little compadre. But yeah, Ricardo does too much. He truly does, and he's a horrible cousin. Like, literally, that baby done starved to death. Okay, because you wanted to go gamble. Whew, that's a quick little story about Ricardo. There's a couple more stories I could tell, but you know, in general, I'm trying to see what I want to share, what I don't want to share. Thank you guys so very much for being there for me. Thank you guys so much for always watching, supporting, and liking. If you guys want more updates and more videos, I do have other series and stuff on my Patreon. Again, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, and I'm gonna see y'all next time.